Welcome back to the Maths Experience Excel class. So in our last class, we looked at formatting numbers. And so in this class, we'll be looking at worksheet basis. So let's just get right into it. Let's open our Excel. So a quick introduction. This is a worksheet. This is a worksheet. This is a worksheet. In fact, just beneath, you would see a label titled Sheet 1. So, what it's trying to say, the name is Sheet 1, Worksheet 1, Worksheet 1. You would see a plus sign. And what happens when we click on that plus sign? We open up a brand new worksheet. So sheet 2, and we can do that, and it names it chronologically. Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So we have 3 worksheets to work on. Now, the combination of the worksheets is called a workbook. So just like a book contains sheets of paper, when you combine the papers, you have a book, a workbook. So we have our sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. And of course, our worksheet is made up of cells. Excel is all about working with your worksheets. We call it spreadsheets or sheets or worksheets. So we can say this is our spreadsheet 1, spreadsheet 2, spreadsheet 3. So a combination of one or more spreadsheets produces a workbook. Produces a workbook. So let's see, we can rename our spreadsheet by right clicking. You'd see different options. Different options. The first one is insert. You can insert a new worksheet or spreadsheet. Now, just like when we are inserting columns, inserting rows, and whenever we do that action, it inserts it before our selected row and before our selected column. It does the same with our worksheet. Let me just give a rundown of that again. If we were to insert, so we see that it inserts the cell before, before. So the same thing happens when we insert new spreadsheet or worksheet. It inserts before. Mostly when we use the insert option. But if we use the plus sign, it just goes after it. It just goes after it. So the second option there is to delete. Now it is important to note that when you delete a worksheet, it is irreversible. It is irreversible. You can't undo that. You can't undo. So let's delete this. You can't undo. If you notice, the undo sign is not active. You can't undo. You can't. There's no going. There's no getting away with that. So when it comes to deleting worksheets, you have to be very careful. You have to be very sure that whatever information is there is no longer necessary. The next option there is rename. You can rename this. So if I want to rename this worksheet 1 to, let's call this basics. So we've renamed that first spreadsheet to basics. So we can also rename the second one advanced. Yes. Okay, let's rename the third one intermediary or intermediate. So this is how we rename our spreadsheets, our worksheets. Okay, we've looked at deleting, copy or move a worksheet. All right, so we can say um, basics, advanced, intermediate is not chronologically arranged. I think after basics, you advance to an intermediate section before you get to the advanced section. So I want to move these intermediate spreadsheets. Okay, I think let me put some content here so we can easily denote them. Advanced. Yeah, that's for the advanced worksheets and then intermediate. Okay, now so I'm moving the intermediate before the advanced. I can just drag, click down and drag, and it moves. That's a fast way to move your worksheets. Click down, drag, or you can right click and then there is a move or copy option. Once you use that option, it will ask you move it before which particular sheet. So I want it to be before advanced. I want my sheet to be before advanced. Now this is the move option. If I want to copy, if I want to create a copy, I would click on select a copy. So let me select a copy first. Let me make a copy and I want it to be before the advanced sheets and then it makes a copy. So you see, it renames it intermediate 2, meaning it is a clone, a duplicate of the original intermediate. Now I can just delete this. I don't need this. So it says it will permanently delete this sheet. There is no coming back from this. Yes, I don't want to come back from it. So we can just choose to move. If we don't select this, create a copy, then we are just moving. And I want it to be before advanced. Now I can move inside a workbook or between workbooks. So if I have multiple workbooks opened, like I have the maths experience as my only workbook active, but if I have multiple workbooks, I can move to another workbook, probably to a new workbook or to an already existing but opened workbook. So, but now the only opened workbook I have is a maths experience. So I want to stay within the same frame and I want to move it before advanced. And the voila, it is moved. So that's how we can create extra worksheets, move them around, make copies of them if necessary. Probably you're working with a template and as we advance into the course, we would see examples like that where you have to work with a template and the template has to be reused. Probably a financial template has to be reused over different months. All you need to do is to create a copy of the worksheet and then rename them by the months you want to work. But when we get to that, we would surely do such examples. So another option we can add colors to these. Colors to these. I can say, okay, I want my basics to look I can say let's start with yellow. So you see it has the yellow effect on the name basics. My intermediate, I want it to look blue, and then my advanced, I want it to look green. So with that, we're able to add colors to our worksheets. Add colors to our worksheets. Then grouping and ungrouping worksheets. So currently I'm working on the basics. If I want to group my basics with something else, all I need to do is to, with a finger down on my shift button, I click on the other sheet I want it to be grouped with. So assuming I want to group basics with intermediates, I put my finger down on shift and click on intermediate. So you see there is a green beneath selection notification telling us that okay, we are now grouped with basics and intermediates. So if I want to group intermediate and advanced, just put my hands down on my control. Intermediate and advanced has been grouped together. If I want to group my advanced with sheet 5, put my hands down, my fingers on control, and then I can categorically say that advanced and sheet 5 have been grouped. Now, since they are grouped, I can choose to make copies of them. Move to the end. So you see, I have both advanced and sheet 5 duplicated because they were grouped when I made such instruction known to the Excel application. I have to just delete this. I don't need this. So if you like this video, kindly like and subscribe. Drop your comments and then we would be very glad to get across to you. Thank you.